Do you like fantasy football and sports betting? Come join us here at the Parlay Fantasy Football Podcast, where hosts Matt, Shane, and Jason talk about fantasy players, lineups, and sports betting to help you compete and win championships. And of course, some extra cash. Let's jump right into the show.
Yo, 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 yo. Welcome back. Welcome back to the Parlay Fantasy Football Podcast. Actually, tonight, just Matt and Jason. And you guys might notice a little something different on the screen here, okay? It is something that we've been wanting to talk about for a couple weeks now, but things have been in the works. But before we get into that, Jason, how are you doing tonight? And why don't you announce to everybody why Shane is not joining us on the podcast tonight? Special moment.
Hey, I'm doing so well. I'm glad to be back. Fantasy football is rearing up. We have special news that I can't wait to announce to everybody that's listening tonight. And Shane is not going to be here because he is welcoming in his second baby girl to the world. So congratulations, Shane. We're so happy for you. And Pam, we wish you both the best, and we will see you back next week because I know you want to be here, but at the same time, you got daddy stuff to deal with today.
Yeah, he texted Jason and I first thing this morning, knowing full well that we were going to be doing the podcast today and give out some exciting news, and he sent us the GIF or GIF, I don't know how you say it, of Michael Scott from The Office coming out of the office or coming out of his door.
Yeah.
It's here.
The fire drill moment. The fire drill.
Yeah. So Shane, congrats, bud. Hopefully you and Pam are doing fantastic. But yeah, welcome to the world. The little one, second baby number two. I guess baby number two.
Baby number two.
So yeah, guys, if you're watching on YouTube, you can kind of see what's going on the screen. But if you are not watching on YouTube, we do have some exciting news. Like Jason said, it's something that we've been wanting to talk to you guys about for the last couple of weeks. And that is, we are officially now partnered with our boys over at Fantasy Six Pack. It's been a long time coming. We've been wanting to do this for a while now. But yeah, it's so cool to be partnered with Fantasy Six Pack. All the stuff that they're doing over there is absolutely insane, man. Like their website's crazy. All the information they have up there, all the articles, the cheat sheets, the draft guides, betting content. It's going to be pretty fantastic. Jason, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I'm so grateful for the opportunity to partner with the special people over at Fantasy Six Pack, to where they've given us an opportunity and they're giving us a platform to where we can kind of both help each other out and grow within a way to where it's one of those things to where I couldn't thank them enough. We're so grateful, and we're going to have a great 2024 football season being together with them. And I'm Shane thinks the same way. So I can't wait for another great football season with them.
And how it's going to work, guys, there's still a lot of details that we're ironing out with them. There's still some things that we're still working on, trying to get solidified and figured out. So by next week, hopefully Shane is back with us, and we'll go into a little bit more of it. I think the details will be ironed out a little bit more, but it did go out today, an announcement on Twitter. All right. So it's official now. It is official. But how it's going to work on our end, guys, we're going to keep the Parlay Fantasy Football Podcast. The name is all going to stay the same. We are just basically partnering with Fantasy Six Pack. Our content will now be over on their YouTube and their website and so on and so forth. We will still put our audio podcast out on our platforms, Spotify, Google Play, Apple Podcasts, all the ones that are out there. So go over there and you guys can still give us a follow over there. But our website will now be kind of shut down since we're going to be over there on fantasy6pack.net. So go over to their website, fantasy6pack.net, and become an all access member over there. Like I said, it's not just our content, our betting content that's going to be out there. There's multiple other podcasts that talk about different things. They have, like I said, the cheat sheets, the articles, the draft guides. There's a lot of things and a lot of information over there. So head on over to fantasy6pack.net to become an all access member today. And again, next week, we'll have some more details for you guys, and we will kind of announce it again with Shane here on board too. Because I know Shane has some stuff he wants to talk about as well. But how we're going to do the podcast tonight, guys, is we're going to basically do our parlay fade segment first, okay? That's how we're going to get into this and lead into this. We've got a lot of special things coming for you guys, a lot of special things coming, and we just cannot wait for every single detail to be ironed out for you guys. So before we jump into the parlay fade, Jason, why don't you recap last week and the bets?
Right. So, Matt, like we said before last week, this is a preseason for us getting into our whole betting segment to where we want you to bet responsibly, always bet responsibly whenever it comes to betting, regardless of what we tell you and whatnot. It was like, hey, you don't want to overdo it. And we're going to reiterate the fact to bet responsibly, y'all. So do your research, also do your due diligence, and look over these bets. As we say, we wouldn't say we're experts, but we're pretty good at betting, and we look into it as ourselves. So with that being said, last week, preseason, as a group, we were 5-3. Your boy went 2-2. Matt had the best week out of all of us. He went 3-1, and Shane, unfortunately, laid a goose egg.
Yeah, he had a baby. Baby was on his mind. Baby was on his mind there.
Something else was on his mind last week, and we'll give him a pass. Like we said, it's preseason, so it was one of those things to where preseason's a little funky, y'all. We don't really know who's playing. We don't know how much playing time the starters are going to get, and it's one of those things to where you probably want to bet the over under, but some games that Shane picked went way over, which is so unfortunate in a preseason game when you see a 60-point total game and you're sitting there like, what? Was there no defense that showed up on the field? But at the same time, hey, we're going to do better for y'all this week. We're going to get our minds right. We're going to get our picks down. And like we said, these picks don't count for our regular season totals. It's one of those things where we want to have fun and just try to get in the groove of when actual week one happens.
Yeah, and what everybody needs to remember, yes, we went 5-7 as a group. Individually, Jason and I did pretty well. Again, Shane had baby on his mind. But what people do need to realize is that with the NFL preseason, it's very unpredictable. It's very, very unpredictable. A lot of these teams and coaches, yes, they will play their starters for a play, maybe 2 plays, maybe a series, maybe a quarter. You have to do your research when you are trying to bet these preseason games because you just do not know how it's going to pan out. So these teams are looking at their second stringers, looking at their third stringers, they're looking at guys to make a roster. So like Jason said, do your research, do your due diligence in doing your research, and don't just throw money at the preseason because of the unpredictability.
Right.
This is a very good opportunity to start very small. You can do 50-cent bets. You can do 25-cent bets and try to build a little bit of a bank account because, again, if you hit, that's great. If you don't, you're not out much. So it's a good way to just test the waters in the betting market, in the betting industry. So,
right.
Okay, Jason, let's before we jump into the actual parlay fade on this week's preseason bets, let's take a quick break. We will be back with you guys in just a second. This episode is brought to you by Nevin Eyewear. Upgrade your style and protect your eyes with Nevin Eyewear. Designed with precision and crafted for comfort, Nevin Eyewear offers a stunning range of sunglasses and optical glasses that blend fashion with function. Whether you're hitting the beach, driving, or just out for a stroll, Nevin Eyewear ensures you look your best while safeguarding your vision. Shop now and experience the perfect fusion of elegance and durability. Head over to parlaypod.com and Parlay FF on YouTube. Click the affiliate link to get the best deals possible. Don't miss out on the latest trends. Again, parlaypod.com and or Parlay FF on YouTube. That's NEVEN.com. Elevate your eyewear game today.
Time for the Parlay Fade.
It's my time. I am back again, baby. I am so back because we're going to have better picks out for y'all this week. And I think we're kind of getting a closer or clearer view of what's happening during the preseason. And we got a lot more picks in store for y'all. Me and Matt do. We're going to read off Shane's picks this week and go from there. But as we get further along in the preseason, there's going to be a little bit more. We're going to get a little bit more of a clear view with what happens with teams and what they're going to do. Starters are going to play a little bit more. Second string is going to play a little bit more. Matt and Shane also, we look more so into the backup quarterbacks, starting quarterbacks, but especially the coaching. And the teams that have the better coaching usually typically perform better in the preseason. So that's kind of what we go from there. So, Matt, without further ado, what we usually do, guys, and our old listeners, y'all know, our OGs, whoever has the best week, they go first. It's like who hits. It's not who hits the worst shot. It's who hits the best shot goes first in this. So, Matt, without further ado, read off your picks, then read off Shane's picks.
Okay. Last week, like Jason alluded to, I did pretty well. I mean, I went 3-1, so that's a dub. That's a big old dub. Jason, you know what I am looking forward to is I'm looking forward to, when you start saying you're gonna let the dog out. Like, I've been waiting for this, and folks out there, our OG listeners, they know. Jason has a shirt that has a dog on it, like a betting shirt, and it's trying to get out. And I'm waiting for the time that Jason gets into the meat of the season. And every week you're going to hear him say, I'm going to let this dog out. And
I got the dog in me. Matt.
And he's barking. He's
ready to get out.
Okay. So this week, guys, I have a couple games for you guys. I got 3 games that I have. And keep in mind, one research tool that you can use is, especially in the preseason, if a game is close to 40 as a total, the odds of that game hitting the under are greater than what they would be in the over. So if you have a game that's real close to the total of 40, you have a pretty good percent chance, whether, again, do your research now, because if they're playing starters for multiple quarters, that might change. But typically, week 1 and 2, the starters don't play a whole lot. And the over-under of like a 39.5, 38.5, that's going to hit the under a lot. Now, I know last week was kind of a outlier with the Vikings-Raiders, and that game, it like blew my mind how much they scored, and the Broncos and the Colts.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That was crazy. But, okay, so this first game is the New York Giants playing at the Houston Texans. I know that the Houston Texans have played well so far. That game has an over-under of 39.5. I'm going to take the under on this because I do not think that, even if the starters do play, I don't think it's going to be very much. I don't think the starters will score if they even touch the field. We've seen the starters in Houston now, and I think the coach will rest them. And I think now they are going to watch the rest of the season and solidify their roster with players drafted and who they want to keep, and so on and so forth in the roster. And even if the Giants play some of their starters, I still think the Texans defense, the second string, I think they're good enough to stop them. So 39.5 is not a number that I am very confident that that's going to go over. So give me the under 39.5 on that game. Second game, the New York Jets playing at Carolina. The over-under is 31.5. If you have a total that is close to 30, the odds of that going over are pretty high. We obviously did not see a very good outing of Carolina the first matchup. Braylon Allen for the New York Jets looked amazing. Looked extremely good. I think the Jets are going to score points. I do think Carolina will score points this week. In a little birdie, another thing I'm kind of looking out for on here is Xavier Legette. He is healthy. He's back at practice. Is he going to play? If he plays, I'm going to be ecstatic about it. But I'm going to take the over 31.5. I do think points will be scored here. My last game, guys, the Cowboys playing at Las Vegas. The over-under is 39.5. Give me the under of that game. I know that the Raiders and the Vikings just put up hella points this last week. I think that changes this week. Dallas is still without CeeDee Lamb. There is still no contract scored here, no contract being done here. Dak Prescott, I doubt he plays. However, I think the Dallas' second-string defense, they're good at defense. We all know Dallas is good on defense. I think the second-string defense will shut the Raiders down. I am not scared of 39.5. I do believe last week it was either at 37.5 or 38.5 for the Raiders and the Vikings. It did go over 39.5 playing the Dallas Cowboys. I'm not scared of that. Give me the under of that game. Did I have another one, Jason? I wrote down a few bets, but I don't know if I had another one.
I have you with the Saints and Niners.
Oh, yeah. This is easy, guys. Saints, Niners, give me the under 38.5. This one I don't need to talk about too much. The Niners have like 12 players injured. They're not touching the field with their starters. I don't think they're going to score much. The Saints, it's the Saints. They might score a touchdown or two, but that still doesn't scare me away from 38.5. I know that the Chris Olave is probably not going to play. So give me the under 38.5 there. That one just kind of jumped out at me. I saw the number and I said, okay, this is a bet that I'm willing to just throw a little bit on here and just feel confident in it. So give me the under 38.5 of the Saints and the Niners. Those are my bets. I'm going to jump in here to Shane's bets here. Shane has the Saints minus 2.5 over the San Francisco 49ers, and it's at San Francisco. So that just goes to show you the Saints are favored in that game at San Francisco. I actually really like that pick. Again, the Niners are extremely banged up. Yeah, that's a good bet. The Rams playing at the Los Angeles Chargers. The over-under is 33.5. Shane's taking the over. The Rams look pretty good, right? The Rams played extremely well. Stetson Bennett looked extremely good. I know he threw a few interceptions, but
4.
yeah. I mean, but Jordan Whittington, Jordan Whittington, like Shane called that a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah,
Jordan Whittington is a baller, bro. Over 33.5. That doesn't scare me away. Again, it's close to that 30 number. It's kind of a flyer bet here. So I like the I like the over 33.5 there too. Once you get to like the 34, 34.5, 35.5, I get a little bit more skeptical. The Chargers don't look that great. Their backups didn't even look that good, but hopefully they have a better outing here. They probably will. It's basically a home game for both teams. So yeah, I don't mind the over 33.5 there. And then Shane took the money line of the Houston Texans. This one's pretty clear and obvious. The Giants, they just don't look that good. We all saw that Tracy went down with an injury today. Eric Cass did carted off the field. Apparently, it's not very serious, but then I heard that he might go into surgery, so he's going to miss time. I don't know the situation there. Eric Gray did look good as the Giants' backup running back, so I'm interested to see how he ends up panning out. But it's the Houston Texans. They look phenomenal. Their second string looks good. Their third string even looks pretty good. So I love the Houston Texans money line here. Jason, what you got?
Yeah, no, I think defensive side of the football for the Texans is going to work their ass off regardless, just for D'Amico Ryans and to try to make the team. I think that whole defensive side of the football plays their ass off. So I love that pick. Yeah, no, I'm going to make this short and sweet. I really don't have much to say. I'm basically going off of coach and quarterback for all these preseason games. And my first one's Ravens -1. You can go even money line right here, just if they do win by 1 and you don't want to hit that, and you don't want to get the what's the word I'm looking for, the push, to where Ravens, it's the first time I think they've lost 2 games in the row in the preseason in like 4 years. They lost the last game of last year, and they lost this first game to where they had a winning streak in the preseason going on for so long. Harbaugh knows how to push his guys in the preseason. He's going to get the best out of them. I don't think we'll see Lamar Jackson, but I know the second and third stringers will do well in this upcoming game. Give me the Ravens -1 coming up in this preseason game. They play I'm blanking on it. I'm trying to look for it right now. They play the Atlanta Falcons, who I'm high on, but I think Penix didn't look as good as he did last week. I thought he was going to look a little bit better and sharper based on what we heard out of all preseason games. I like the Ravens -1, but a bounce back game right there. Next off, I got the Chiefs Lions under 39.5. Hendon Hooker, my guy. Did you see him last week?
Yeah, he truck sticked that dude. I know he had a concussion though, right?
Yeah, and which is what pushes me to go for the under. I know it's Carson Wentz, and you're going to see a little Jake Fromm action out of the Lions, maybe a little Teddy Bridgewater action too. I mean, I don't know how much we'll see out of Teddy and whatnot, but give me the under. I don't think Carson Wentz is what he used to be. I don't think anybody thinks what he used to be. 39.5 is a little bit too much for them. So I like both these coaches, but I'm going to go for the under, and I think it's going to be a defensive ball game. And the next one, I'm going with another Harbaugh brother. Give me the Chargers -1 this week against the LA Rams. I love it. It's a LA face-off in SoFi. We all know the Rams fans will probably come out instead of those sorry-ass Chargers fans who don't even exist anymore. But at the same time, give me the Chargers to come out here, prove the doubters wrong, because Stetson Bennett did not look good last week, but the Cowboys offense looked even worse. So I think the Chargers will at least have a run game, push the football, and control the football rather than give it up, and they will put some points up on the board. Who knows? I think the Chargers do pull this off. Give me the Chargers -1. And lastly, and I hate to admit this, Matt. I hate to admit this to you. Jaden Daniel looked good.
I told you. Hey, I mean, it is what it is, bro. You just tell me. Just tell me I'm the king, bro. It's all good. It's all good.
Give me the Commanders +1 versus Miami. I think Jaden Daniels is going to play a little bit more in that game. You're going to see a little bit more starters out of them. Washington has something to prove rather than Miami. I think Miami has that mindset coming from that 49ers mindset of Mike McDaniels, where they're going to rest their starters as much. They got a little bit of an older team, a little bit banged up team, to where they're going to be playing their second, third strings a little bit more than Washington has their young guys. Washington will bring out their young guys a little bit more often in the first half, and I think they will put up some points on the board, and they will cover and potentially win that game against probably win. I think they'll win. In Miami, give me Washington and the Commanders at +1 at Miami.
Okay. I like that, man. I really do. We'll cover a little bit in the news and notes here. Again, that's our Parlay Fade segment, guys. That's how we do it every year. We've got a lot of things coming to you as far as bets-wise go. NFL and NCAA. A little spoiler alert, guys. I have some good bets. I've got some futures coming up that I have been doing research for the last 3 to 4 months on conference winners, over-unders on total records. I've got some really good things coming to you guys probably in the next week or two. I'll release some of those things. So again, we've got a lot of things coming to you guys. I did not mention at the beginning of the show, if you want to follow any of us on Twitter, as well as our new partner, Fantasy Six Pack, guys, you can find myself at Matt_Parlay FF. You can find Jason at Jason Parlay FF, and you can find Shane at Shane Parlay FF. As far as Fantasy Six Pack goes, guys, you can find them at Fantasy Six Pack on X. Head on over to their Discord page, guys. We have a lot of content going in there, general chat content, fantasy football content, betting content, DFS content. It is all in their Discord. And now the three of us are in their Discord as well. If you guys can ask us any kinds of questions, we will do our best to answer anything and everything that we possibly can. Again, there are a lot of intelligent people in this new partnership in the Fantasy Six Pack family and organization. There's a lot of stuff going on. We're going to continue to grow the brand and take it to the moon, okay? So that's how we're going to do it. We are going to get into some news and notes here. Obviously, there's some big stuff going on, right? But before we jump into that, I just wanted to say that we can't thank you guys enough. To any of our old subscribers, keep on following the show. We got you, okay? We still got stuff going out. To any new subscribers, we love you. We thank you. And hopefully you guys can tune in and take some of our advice for betting content because, again, we're going to make you some of that green, okay? We're going to make you some cash. And like Jason said before, be responsible about it. Make sure that you're starting small. There's no reason to jump into this just because if we, lay down some big bets, that's just the way it is. We started out small. There's no reason why you cannot start out with, $5 in your betting account and bet $1 here, $1 there, and watch it grow because you can play some really nice odds from our bets that we are going to give you guys. You can play some really nice odds with $1 bet and double, triple, quadruple your money. All right. So start out small, be responsible about it, and make sure that you are doing your research. So with that being said, let's dive into the news and notes.
News and notes around the league.
All right. Well, we do have some news, guys. Obviously, we know the saga of Brandon Ayuk. That's currently the big thing going on here. Apparently, the Steelers and the 49ers had a deal in place. It is still in place, and I keep refreshing my phone as I'm talking about this because
I bet you do.
I'm just waiting. I got it right here now, son. I'm just keep refreshing it. But the latest news is right now that the 49ers and the Steelers do have a deal in place, but Brandon Ayuk, I think, possibly wants to stay in San Francisco, and I do think that they are trying to work out a long-term contract extension. They did reach out and send a fairly sizable, I don't know all the numbers in front of me, but a fairly sizable contract offer to Brandon Ayuk. He has yet to sign it. The Steelers are willing to give Brandon Ayuk his money. It's just whether or not San Francisco has to be the one that says, okay, this deal is done. Let's get on with it. But there is contract negotiations that the 49ers and Brandon Ayuk are trying to finalize something as a last-ditch effort. And I think San Francisco, to be honest, I think it's kind of like a 60-40 now. I think he probably will end up staying in San Francisco. I think they probably will get a deal done. But that's the big news going on right there. Obviously, this just came in a few hours ago. Jamar Chase was absent from practice today due to a contract dispute. So apparently something else is going on. I don't know if that could be fake news. I don't know. But that's something to just keep your eye on. One thing I did want to touch, though, Jason, I want to get your opinion on this because last week, kind of a short recap of preseason one, the rookie quarterbacks minus Drake May all looked phenomenal. Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix,
Joe Milton.
I mean, most of the rookie quarterbacks that got substantial amount of play, they looked pretty darn good. What do you take from that? Give me your honest opinion, because typically we do not see them doing that well. J.J. McCarthy looked extremely good. I know he's going in. That's another piece of news. He has knee surgery. He's going to miss some time. What is your take on that? Because typically
Nothing.
I feel like nothing. Let's just watch it. Let's just keep watching it. Okay.
I'd love to see a rookie quarterback perform well, and you see all the fantasy dynasty leagues that we're in going and hyping each other up. You see some whack trades that are trying to overpay on people just because of a week one performance that they played 2 series in. I don't care, Matt. I do not care. When you get out there versus the number ones and we see you when the game speeds up where it's actual game time, real time decisions, we then realize who those dudes are. And CJ Stroud was a unicorn last year. We all understand that. We all saw that last year, and everybody on any single platform that you can see is like, oh yeah, CJ Stroud, his hype is way up because he deserves it. But at the same time, we saw the Bryce Youngs of the world who had that hype too, who yes, he might not have been given the perfect situation like some other guys, but at the same time, a lot of these quarterbacks that are going in rookie situations don't have the best situation at all. That's why they're a top draft pick. I need to see it versus real time dudes. If I keep on seeing it consistently during the preseason, I'll start to buy in, but I need to see more. I'm not
How
buying
about
in
that?
too much on the hype.
How about that? How about that Tank Dell? How about that Tank Dell, son?
Hey, I texted you and Shane about it last week. It's weird hearing my Texans get the hype, and I love seeing
Bro,
Tank Dell and everybody. But hey, I'm trying to keep a level head right now.
what
Trying to
what do
keep a
you make?
level head. Mhm.
What do you make about that tweet that's going around about Stephon Diggs? How he was talking to CJ on the sideline. Do you think he was pulling? Do you honestly think he was pulling his diva shit, or do you think he was just having a conversation with Bryce? Because they blasted that all over Twitter about him doing his complaining and all that stuff. What do you take from that? Being a Texans fan.
You used to be a receiver in college football. You know how it gets on those sidelines where you're trying to have a competitive
Yeah,
talk in a real time, in the moment, not a heated, but a competitor discussion with
right.
somebody on your team of wanting to win. Of this is what I saw, this is what I can do, this is what I need to see from you, this is where we can do this. I'm not yelling at you. Stephon Diggs a little bit of a diva, but anybody who talks with their hands like this, they want to blow it out of proportion to where it's like, oh, he's already complaining about this and that. I think it was more so, hey, this is what we can do in that situation. Stephon Diggs was wide open across the middle. I don't know if you saw on that route.
Yeah, he was.
On a
Yeah,
drag. He was wide open on a drag, but CJ hit it perfect timing on a skinny post down the middle, split the two safeties on that cover two. Game over. Touchdown. It's one of those things where they're working out something that they saw. And hey, I think Stephon Diggs, hopefully, this is what I'm saying. Hopefully, he understands where his role is going to be in that offense and where he can only put CJ Stroud in a better position to be the best possible quarterback he can be.
yeah. It's I'm interested to see just how it unfolds. I think people overblew that quite a bit, actually substantially.
You saw what Stephon Diggs said to Josh Allen. That was not that. That was
No,
That was a
no.
completely different conversation of what
Yeah,
he saw in a route.
I don't think even if he does go full diva this year, he's not going to do a preseason. He's not going to do a preseason. He needs to let this thing work out. Hollywood Brown expected to miss 4 to 6 weeks with his shoulder injury. It was very similar to the Tyreek Hill one. So keep that in mind. Okay, Rashee Rice, we have not heard about any kind of suspension coming down. I do not believe that he will be suspended
I don't think he will.
This year, maybe the following year, but just keep in mind, guys, the NFL can lay the hammer down anytime they want throughout the season for a suspension. But I don't think it's going to happen right away. I think he will be available in the first part of the year, if not all year round. Okay. I mentioned it a little early that Giants rookie running back Tyrone Tracy went down with an undisclosed, or he went down on his own, no contact. They carted a carton on practice. They put his foot in an air cast. Like I said, I've heard that it was just a bad sprain, and I've also heard that he could be going in for surgery, I guess. I don't know exactly, but Eric Gray, like we mentioned before, looked very good in the Giants' first preseason game. So if he's out on your waiver wires in a dynasty league, go out and snatch him up. I did it. I already did it in one league. So, yeah, I mean, did you see Jerry Jones backtracked on his CeeDee Lamb comments about the urgency of getting that done?
Dude, the whole it kind of bothers me now about anything that Jerry Jones says about what he's going to do after he said he was going to put his best foot forward in order to do the most for the Cowboys in this times in this winning now period. And he hasn't done a damn thing.
No, that team their defense is good, their offense is good when CD's on the field.
They got 3 players that they got to pay, though.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
We'll see how this all plays out. We'll see how it all plays out. That is basically going to wrap up the news and notes, guys. Like I said, man, next week, Shane will be back. We're going to discuss a little bit more about being involved and partnered with the Fantasy Six Pack. There's a lot more things to come with this, a lot more details to come out, but we wanted to jump on here and put out an episode just because week 2, the football season is here and it does not stop. So we wanted to make sure that we got on here and at least put out something for you guys. So that being said, guys, remember to go over to X, follow all 3 of us, follow Fantasy Six Pack on X, on Twitter, Discord, Fantasy Six Pack. Okay, head on in there. There's tons of content, guys. I can't begin to explain to you how many people in the Fantasy Six Pack family are on there. They help people out. They give out information. Our stuff will be in there too. FantasySixPack.net. Become an all-access member, guys. You will have access to our bets and everything else that Fantasy Six Pack provides. Even if you just want, go over and check it out, FantasySixPack.net. There is a lot of information, a lot of content on there, and it will help you win your fantasy league. It will help you do DFS lineups. It will help you with betting content. If you need some cheat sheets or some draft strategy guides, it is all over in FantasySixPack.net. We love you guys to the moon and back. We are super excited for this. Jason, any closing comments before we wrap the show up?
No. Hey, you hit it all. Hey, I just want to say thank you to Fantasy Six Pack again for letting us be a part of your team. We appreciate y'all, and we are going to do big things with y'all this year.
Yeah. So remember, guys, check us out everywhere, every social media platform, Parlay Fantasy Football Podcast on any podcast platform. We will still be on all those. So with that being said, Jason, you know what to do.
Shane, we miss you. Congratulations to you. Congratulations for letting your new baby go to the world. We can't wait to have you back next week. And we're so excited to be a part of the Fantasy Six Pack team.
Yes, sir. We love you all to the moon and back. Until next week, peace out.